Thank you, Julia. And, you know, I do see a kid that's out there struggling a little bit. The league is starting to adjust to him. But I like what you said about him squaring the ball up. He is doing that. He's hitting the ball hard. He's just hitting it right at people. And I think the hardest thing as a young kid is to understand that you don't have to make major adjustments in order to find base hits. You got to believe in yourself, have the same approach every day, keep working on the mechanics of your swing that you know are very good for a guy like Carlos Correa. And all it takes is maybe a change of scenery. He has hit the ball well here at Angels Stadium. Maybe this is what it's going to take and face some of these Angels pitchers. Barrel a couple up, see him fall into a gap, find some open space, and he could be off to a very hot May.
And as Julia mentioned, the Astros, with their first game against the Angels on the season, rather amazing when you consider that the Angels have faced the Texas Rangers 10 times already this season. The Astros took the edge last year, winning 10 of the 19. So game one now on this 19-game series for 2016. And for the Astros, that starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines has George Springer back in that top spot. That's the way it's going to look now for a while. Jose Altuve batting second and Carlos Correa follows. Middle three, Colby Rasmus, Evan Gattis, and Luis Valbuena. And the bottom three playing at third base, Colin Moran still looking for that first major league hit. Jason Castro does the catching, and Jake Marisnick with the speed in center field.
For the Los Angeles Angels, there's a look at Matt Shoemaker. He will be making his 9th start on the season. Not very good numbers. Had a brief stint in the minor leagues before coming back with all the injuries that the Angels have had on their team and in their rotation. So he is back. Pitched quite well that last time out. He became the 3rd pitcher in Angels history to have a 12-plus strikeout game with 0 walks in it. So throwing the ball well since coming back. You see the velocity on that fastball at 91 miles an hour, maybe a little bit more if he needs it. But the good thing for the Astros is they hit the fastball well, and that 386 average against Shoemaker should prove to be a good afternoon.
And as Blummer mentions, that last time out for Shoemaker came against the Baltimore Orioles. Maybe not surprising that he picked up 12 strikeouts in that game after having seen what the Astros and their pitching staff did with the Orioles over the last 3 days. Springer takes a strike to start the evening. And those 12 strikeouts came in 7 1/3 innings. So Shoemaker trying to get himself on a roll. The Astros trying to do the same thing as the count moves to 0-2 for George Springer. The batting average at .270. 2 home runs yesterday. Obviously instrumental in the victory over the Orioles. 11 on the season now for George. Ground ball with that shift on. A tough play in the infield, but a play made at shortstop by Gregorio Petit, and out number 1.
Second baseman, number 27, Jose Altuve.
Brings up Jose Altuve, who has had his struggles in recent times. Picked up a hit in a 1-for-4 effort yesterday in that victory. 4th consecutive game now for Jose batting second. He had been hitless in 4 consecutive games prior to getting the hit in yesterday's game. And that all coming right on the heels of a 12-game hitting streak, his longest on the season. Has a ball and a strike. 1 out here in the 1st inning. And that brief hitless streak for Altuve matched a career high. Another ground ball to shortstop. To his left again, Petit to make the play, and just getting the speedy Altuve going down the line.
Like Altuve wants him to take a look at that one. He was flying down that line.
Altuve continued to stare down toward A.J. Hinch and the staff. And obviously Hinch and company get the word back from the clubhouse as to whether they feel that it's worth the challenge. But Altuve was flat getting it down the line, and it brings up Carlos Correa. You see the numbers, .245 the batting average. Carlos takes a strike. Carlos was 0 for 4 in last night's game against the O's. A night game prior to the Astros having to hop on board a plane and head out to the West Coast. A trip that saw the Astros delayed in Houston with the rain issues going on. Finally got out at about 1:11 last night. Line drive hit into right center field. That's a base hit. So Correa tries to heat that bat up, and a lot of the folks with the Angels felt that this is exactly what they would see. Correa has swung the bat so well against the Angels over his brief tenure in the bigs.
Get a chance to see where the location is on that pitch with our strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson. And a good job by Correa staying inside the baseball. And I mean, bringing the hands through early, a little bit of lag on that barrel. But that tells you he's trying to focus on staying up the middle, going the other way. It's much easier for big league hitters to make adjustments when they're getting jammed as opposed to hitting the ball off the end of the bat.
A pickoff move, and they get Correa, who was leaning a bit. And that'll do it for the Astros in the first inning. They get the hit from Correa, but leave nobody. We played a half scoreless baseball in Anaheim. Here in Anaheim, California, where the Astros and Angels are hooking up a 3-game set. First meetings of the year between the two clubs. For Mike Scioscia's Angels, it'll be Yunel Escobar in the top spot, followed by Cole Calhoun and Mike Trout putting up big numbers. Albert Pujols, C.J. Cron, and Johnny Giovatella follow. And then the bottom three, new left fielder Rafael Ortega, Carlos Perez, former Astros farmhand, and Gregorio Petit at shortstop.
Mike Fiers, 4-year Houston Astros, on the bump tonight to start off this road trip. There you get a good look at him, making his 9th start on the season with that 3-2 record. He's actually doing a great job with that 7 walks in the 51 2/3 innings. He's got also 37 strikeouts, a very good strikeout to walk ratio.
Well, Mike Fiers with that assignment tonight. Get this road trip started as the first pitch hit very sharply, but foul outside the bag at third. Yunel Escobar has been very good with the bat for the Angels. He is stinging it. He uses the entire field. A guy who will hit it maybe just as often down the right field side as the left. Breaking ball hit in the air center field. Routine for Marisnick. As he backs under, there's out number 1.
Take a look back at what happened to Carlos Correa to end that top of the first inning. We'll be on our Super Mo, brought to you by Mattress Firm. Clearly picked off. Almost looked as if he kind of fell asleep a little bit, or Shoemaker caught him in between steps as he was trying to take that lead, but an unfortunate mistake.
And extra unfortunate, if you want to use that word, and a good one when you consider how the Astros are really battling to try to put together a winning streak. They are 20-28 at the start of play, that following the 3-game sweep of the Orioles as Fiers finds the outside corner on Cole Calhoun. 3-game winning streak, longest on the season now for Houston, and trying to find a way against a very injured club of the Angels and maybe come into Anaheim and surprise this team. Off speed, the tapper. Inside the bag, handled by Valbuena, and there's your second out of the inning. The Angels with 10 men on the DL. So they have been hammered by the injuries as Mike Trout now stands in. Got off to a slow start on his season, but he's turned it on. He's all of 24 years old now. And the numbers add up once again to a Trout-like season. 318, 10 home runs already, leading the club. 32 RBIs to lead the team.
Swinging a hot bat, 357 since April 20th. That's turning things around a little bit. And I think what you saw right there on that first pitch to Mike Trout is that he's a little more aggressive early on in the count, having some success. Talking to the hitting coach for the Angels, Dave Hansen, he said that they are picking spots, trying to take some calculated risks with that first pitch. And he said that Mike Trout has absolutely no fear hitting deep in counts either.
And though he obviously doesn't, he's been a guy that strikes out a lot, and that may be part of it. But you can't deny the success that Mike Trout has put together.
Yeah, with his tools, you pretty much let him do whatever he wants.
Four-time All-Star. He's been an MVP already. That came in 2014. Silver Slugger winner 4 times already. Has a 2-2 count. And he only came up in 2011, played 40 games that year. And you might think, well, he must have torn it up right away. Not the case. He hit just .220 that year, did show some power with 5 homers. Stole 4 bags in 4 tries. But it was that next year, 2012, when he was the man who led the Angels as he takes one close and gets by with it. 3-2. He was second in the MVP voting that year as he won the Rookie of the Year award. Followed second in the MVP voting that following year, and then finally won it in 14. Tenth pitch of the inning coming up from Mike Trout, or rather from Mike Fiers, excuse me. Off speed, hit on the ground at third. Moran with the play, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 first inning. So each team trading scoreless first.
No score here at the Big A. Saturday, June 4th is Celebration Day at Minute Maid Park as 10,000 fans will get a Colby Rasmus 2015 postseason celebration bobblehead presented by HEB. For more information, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. That video never gets old.
Yeah, those are good times, and Of course, you were a big part of that celebration, Julia. You got a little bit,
I know, I'm in there somewhere, right?
a little wet in there. We go to the second inning as Colby leads it off. He's got his shirt on now and takes a strike. 0-1 on Colby.
Those darn league rules.
Yeah, they always get in the way, don't they?
Yeah, making you wear jerseys.
Got to come out and have a little fun, and the rules step in the way. 0-2 the count. Talking about all the injuries for the Angels. Colby's brother, pitcher with the Angels, Corey Rasmus, on the DL. As we look at George Springer, one of the 10 Angels currently on the DL. Ball and 2 strikes. Colby, after a nice start on the season, hitting just .222, does have the 8 home runs. Matt Shoemaker trying to put together a few solid starts now for his club. Again, the Astros 20-28. 13-11 in the month of May, so they're picking it up. And I think the bottom line, Blummers, you're not looking necessarily for a number of 10-game winning streaks, although that would be awfully nice. But if you can pick up a couple of games each month now is about the most realistic way the Astros can get back in this thing.
Yeah, they're almost forced to try and win each series that they go out there. If they can go 2 out of 3 every 3-game series, they're going to put themselves in great shape. They just haven't had many opportunities to play within their division and pick up those games within the division. First time playing the Angels all season so far. But the games they have had against Seattle, Oakland, and Texas have not gone well at all.
Good off speed. The changeup gets the strikeout. Talking about those injuries with the Angels. And these are some of the big guys. The closer, Houston Street. You've got their shortstop, Andrelton Simmons. Garrett Richards, one of the big right-hand starters in the league. Andrew Heaney, C.J. Wilson. On and on. They have been thumped by the injury bug.
Well, I'm counting 4 starters and a closer on that list. That's tough to replace.
Even if you're talking relievers, and there was at least a name or 2 on there among the relievers, imagine how that would impact the Astros the way they've been pitching out of the bullpen. Evan Gattis at the plate, hitting .242. He's come back with the hammer. 5 home runs now. Gattis down on the count, 0-2. Shoemaker working with a nice pace, utilizing that changeup quite a bit. A lot of talk about getting to see Shoemaker's fastball for the hitters, but maybe a little slider right there down and away.
Yeah, Shoemaker comes at you with a fastball, slider, split. Sometimes he'll take a little bit off that slider, create a little more of a curveball look to it. But his go-to with that 2 strikes is that split-fingered fastball.
The 1-2 to Gattis. And it goes through on the pitch off the outside edge. So Gattis down on strikes. That's a couple here in the inning.
Luis Valbuena into that homestand against Baltimore in grand fashion. Got himself a hanging changeup right there. That started it the first night against Baltimore, that big bomb to right field. This is the one I was impressed with. Fastball away. Valbuena stays on it, drives through it. Sneaks it over that left center field fence. And this one right here, fastball down. That was an absolute laser to right field.
And for Valbuena, when he can swing that dangerous bat, drive in some runs with the long balls, he becomes a very valuable player. His defense at third base is unquestioned.
Well, that's a necessary bat in the bottom part of this Astros lineup. With Valbuena up there, we're going to get a chance to look at our forward spray chart on Luis Valbuena. You can see before and after May 7th. That before is not good. That blue is ice cold. All those red zones on the right means he's starting to barrel up a couple more pitches, and it's good to see that plate coverage through the middle of the zone.
Swings through the high heat. He's down on strikes as Shoemaker has a 1-2-3 inning, striking out the side through an inning and a half. Still scoreless. In Anaheim, California. Gorgeous ballpark. As we look at Albert Pujols standing in against Mike Fiers, leading off here in the second. It'll be Pujols, Cron, and Giavotella for the Angels. Albert Pujols, not quite the guy he once was. There's no doubt about that, but he'll still hit the long home run. 9 dingers on the year, 31 RBIs for Albert. And an 0-2 count as Fiers finds that outside edge. Tries to get that bat moving on the slider down and away. Albert Pujols has played 14 games at first base this year, but other than that, relegated to being the DH for the Halos. Hits one on the ground, left side, diving stop. Moran gets up and throws to get his man. Pujols can't run going down the line, but a heck of a play by Colin Moran for out number 1.
Very nicely done. With the way the Astros play infield against Albert Pujols, anything on that pull side in that 5.5 hole is going to be smothered. You can see it on the replay here. Colin Moran playing well deep enough. Correa there for the backhand, but it turns into a spectacular play for the youngster, Colin Moran. Got a good jump on it, popped up, and like you said, has plenty of time to get Albert running down that line.
Did a nice job not rushing, did Moran, on that play. 1 out.
It's a good look at it on the Supermo. Just catches that thumb. That's all it takes. Sometimes the hardest thing in those diving plays early in the game is that after they've watered down the infield, you get up and your hand's a little muddy. Tough to get a grip sometimes, but Colin Moran made it look pretty easy.
The way that ball hit the thumb of the glove, Moran may be fortunate the ball stayed there in the mitt. Ball and 2 strikes. C.J. Cron hitting just .250, 3 homers and 18 ribbies. Cron has been called upon to be the first baseman much of the time. 31 starts, 32 games overall down at first, and that because of Pujols and the injuries. It's a shoulder breaker for a catcher right there.
He was going up for a rebound.
Came down with one hand nicely.
Man.
Popped up into shallow right field. Altuve out. It's Springer in. And out number 2.
Every Wednesday night home game is $1 Hot Dog Wednesday, presented by Nolan Ryan Beef. Your next chance for Dollar Dogs is Wednesday, June 1st. For more information, visit astros.com/dollardogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
With 2 down, Mike Fiers will face Johnny Giavotella, the second baseman for the Angels. Giavotella got off to a very rough start on his season, but has turned it around here in the month of May. Overall hitting .282. He pops it up on the left side. It's Correa backing onto the outfield grass. And a 1-2-3 inning. That's 2 of them recorded by Mike Fiers. We've played 2 scoreless innings.
'16 Coca-Cola Astros Buddies membership are on sale now for only $25. Buddies members get a voucher for 4 tickets to an Astros game, VIP access to Kids Run the Bases, exclusive autograph sessions, and more. Memberships for kids up to 12 years old are available by visiting astros.com/buddies. Colin Moran digs in, looking for that first major league hit, and he's had a few days off here in between games, and he told me, on those days does some extra hitting. He's really just trying to focus on how he got here, the swing, the pitch selection. There's a lot of things that he's doing out there that's not really characteristic of things that he was doing when things were working down in AAA. So for him, just trying to stick with the same approach he had before, which is tough when you're struggling to find that first hit, and AJ knows that. He said we're just trying to encourage him, and they're watching him closely to make sure that he sticks to his game plan, guys.
Thank you, Julia. It might be right here. A little looper to right field, but a great catch by Giavotella. So it looked for a moment like Colin Moran with a little off the end of the bat looper might break through with the first major league hit, but he's going to have to wait some more.
The Angels have already got a scouting report on Colin Moran. They played the shift right there, and if they are not in the shift and having Giavotella out there in shallow right field, he doesn't make this play. You can see on the replay it was going to fall in front of Calhoun, but great play by Giavotella.
That is a heck of a play. He had to reach back to the left just a little bit in the end to make the play. First out of the 3rd inning. Where that monkey gets really large and heavy when you go for a while trying to get that first hit of a season, let alone of your big league career. Jason Castro stands in, 0 for his last 7, hitting .209 on the year. A lot of things going through your mind. But you know what? It doesn't hurt when you make a great defensive play, as we've seen from Moran tonight. I always want to feel like you're contributing to the club. The irony being that the bat is the side of the game that has been the strength for Colin Moran. Ball and 2 strikes on Castro. That splitter has been a big offering in this kind of scenario, and there it is. Another strikeout, 4 on the night now for Shoemaker. 2 down in the 3rd inning. And the 9-hitter, Jake Marisnick, coming to the plate.
Center fielder, number 6, Jake Marisnick.
Blummer, when you're on a ball club like the Astros and trying to get back to 500 and then make some noise, you pick up that first sweep of the season, 3 games over the Orioles, a club that's done well on the year. Does it lead to any momentum? Do you carry it forward into a series like this?
Well, it's the first time they've won 3 games in a row all season, so it had to feel good. The only thing that I have a problem with is they had to get on a plane in the middle of the night. So you wake up a little bit groggy the next day. You'd like to be in a little bit better shape coming into this game because you have created momentum beating up on an American League first place team in the Baltimore Orioles. You pitched well. The offense didn't do much, but the pitching did extremely well to win those ball games. So I like to think that there is momentum, but it's at the same time you're trying to get your feet back under you and try and figure out which time zone you're in.
It was an unusual game yesterday for Lance McCullers with the 10 strikeouts but the 6 walks, and
just no fastball command yesterday. It was rough early.
All about slider when he needed to throw the strike.
I want to say he threw that slider 65% of the time. It was crazy how often he went to that pitch. It was effective, but at the same time really unable to set it up because the fastball command left him so early.
Now you got to see all of that series from games 1 through 3 in the series. 19, 18, and 15 strikeouts for the Astros staff. It's just almost beyond belief.
Well, yeah, and sitting there you couldn't believe it because you kept writing K after K on your scorecard. But I think if you and I had some decent location on our heater, we might have been able to get a couple of Ks in that series.
Okay, now you've stretched that veil of belief there. As Marisnick is down on strikes, a couple in the inning, 5 on the night for Shoemaker. Still scoreless after 2.5.
The big A, and our Geico quote of the day comes from Adam Jones, Baltimore's center fielder, who just said after last night, "This hasn't been fun. We set the record for Ks in a 3-game series. Let's get the hell out of Houston." Talking about all the strikeouts. You guys were just mentioning that, them setting a major league record for striking out 52 batters in a 3-game set. AJ did say that the confidence of the pitchers showed throughout the 3-game series. Just the consistency of these strikeouts was very unique. But was it more of what the Astros were doing, or did you see something in Baltimore, guys?
Yeah, it's a good question, Julia, and I'm not sure that we're capable of good answers on that one. But, for me, seeing the 2 starters, McCullers and McHugh, picking up 10 strikeouts apiece, and then the bullpen being as strong as they were, promising for this staff right now.
I think it was a combination of both, because McHugh really worked on getting that fastball elevated, and he had a really good breaking ball going the day he was pitching. But the guys coming out of the pen, they were just really aggressive in the zone, and I think the way they saw Baltimore swinging the bat and missing so often, they didn't fear coming into the zone.
Hitting the air down the right field side and deep in the corner. George Springer just getting to it. He'll fire back in. It'll be a leadoff double as Rafael Ortega gets the first hit of the night for either side. He's the first base runner. He's at second base with nobody out for Carlos Perez.
Fastball down and just golfed by Ortega. Hooked it down that line right off the end of the bat. But again, you get that kind of top spin and just kept tailing away from George Springer. Really no chance to get up underneath that, try and make the play.
Didn't get a chance to talk about Carlos Ortega. 25-year-old has stepped in, a guy that is not known to have much power. So the double here may be a bit unusual. He's played a good left field for the Angels. Rafael, excuse me on that first name, Rafael Ortega. He's a Venezuelan-born player. Carlos Perez at the plate, hitting .211. A couple of homers. A 1-1 count. This is one of those assignments, if you're Mike Fiers, a lot of times the belief is you work in, you try to force Perez to pull something on the left side of the infield and keep that man at second base with one out. Of course, Mike Scioscia has other thoughts about how to handle it. Hit to center field, looping. It drops for a base hit as Jake Marisnick comes on and fires as it's cut off. Runners at first and third, back-to-back hits. Ortega and Perez, and nobody out with runners at the corners. For the shortstop, Gregorio Petit.
Houston Methodist is going to bring us our league leaders. It's the lowest opponent average with runners in scoring position since August 3rd of last year, 2015. A couple Astros on there. Scott Feldman at .082 once guys get on base against him. Mike Fiers at 177 when he has runners in scoring position. Right now he's going to have to do some serious work to get out of this first and third nobody out situation.
Colin Moran drawn in on the third base side. Double play depth at short and second. So the Astros, given the opportunity for the double play, will take it and provide the Angels the early lead. As Fiers finds the strike zone. Thanks to the good folks, the Astros have had a base runner and a base hit. That was Carlos Correa. He was promptly picked off in the first inning. So Ortega the lead runner, Perez at first. Petit 0 for his last 7 now for the Halos. Hitting .262 overall. Has to take a shot to right field. Gregorio Petit with the 0-2 count. And another one of those Venezuelan players. So many good ones around the major leagues. Played with the Astros in 2014. Did a pretty nice job hitting .278, a couple of home runs that year. Had exactly 100 plate appearances for the Astros. Big spot for a strikeout for Mike Fiers. One of the ways Fiers goes after the strikeouts is with that high heater. These Angels at 21 and 26 mentioned, the Astros 20 and 28. Angels a game and a half in front of Houston in the standings. And again, right up the ladder with that heater. That American League West led by the Seattle Mariners. A.J. Hinch very aware of all that's going on. Seattle leads at 28 and 18, so they've gotten off to a very nice start, followed by Texas at 27 and 20. The Astros are now tied with the Oakland A's. 9 games back and a lot of work to be done. And again, fires, misses high, so that'll fill it 3-2. Not much speed down at first base. AJ letting Castro and the infielders know if there will be a throw through to second base. Runner does not go, and ball 4 is delivered on a close pitch. I think Mike Fiers thought he had one.
I don't know if he's really in a position to stare down the umpire in that sense. Missing badly the 3 pitches previous to this, goes to the off speed, it looks like, trying to bring it back. And you can see Castro kind of popping out of his stance, but we can see above that strike zone, it was on the plate, just up.
Yeah, from the pure standpoint of Jason Castro, you want to make sure you don't raise your body up. Now, if you're getting crossed up a lot, I can understand that happening, but obviously the splitter was the call. So bases loaded, now nobody out. Yunel Escobar, the leadoff man at the plate. Fly to center field in the first. Fiers continues from the stretch.
Some command issues early on.
You can see that Yunel Escobar has been a guy that has hit into the double play some this year.
Tell you what, a one-hopper to Colin Moran right here would be nice.
Pop fly down the right side won't hurt you either. As George Springer moves into foul territory, makes the catch. Just kind of lobs it into the plate and short hops Castro in the process. But a big out, number 1, and now the double play will get you out of the inning.
It's a beautiful thing. Escobar did Mike Fiers a favor.
Tough hitter Cole Calhoun coming to the plate. Oh for 1 on the evening. The batting average just below 300 at 297. Not a good right fielder for the Angels. Has not shown a lot in terms of the long ball this year, just 3 of them. 28 years of age. Altuve on the right side of the infield shallows up a bit. Always tougher to get that left-hand hitter to ground into the double play.
Calhoun's been a tough hitter against Astro pitching too, especially in these runner in scoring position type situations. Puts together a quality at bat. I'd like to try and get these guys aggressive early in counts, maybe chase something and roll it over and turn it into a double play.
Calhoun with 4 home runs lifetime against Houston. Driven in 15 in 40 games. Two balls and no strikes. And a good hitter's count now for Cole Calhoun. Here's your lead runner. Those runners for the Angels, Ortega, Perez, and Petit. And now Brett Strom's going to come out to the mound with a 2-0 count. We'll talk things over with Mike Fiers and with Jason Castro. Trying to straighten things out here in the inning. Leadoff double by Ortega. Perez came up with a base hit, moving runners to first and third. And then the walk to Petit. But that big out, number 1, with the fly ball shallow down the right field side. The Astros trying to come up with a double play possibly. Might think maybe splitter or slider provides the best opportunity for the ground ball.
I'll tell you what, right now, settle for a strike. But you throw something right down the middle, Calhoun's going to get a hold of it, because you know right now in this 2-0 count, understanding that Fiers is having trouble with command, he's sitting on a good pitch to hit.
And he got one. Slices it down the left side, and it drops. Fair ball in front of Rasmus. As 1 run scores, that's all the Angels get. But everybody moves up 90 feet. The Angels take a 1-0 lead. And now Mike Trout will come to the plate.
There's nothing you can do on that ball right there. Kind of inside out. It almost looked like the fastball beat Calhoun, but able to slice it right in front of Colby Rasmus. He was playing shallow, but you can see inside outing this, slicing it down that left field line. Just perfectly placed. There's no way to defend that. We keep talking about luck, and there's been some bad luck mixed into some of these tough games for the Houston Astros.
So Calhoun comes up with another big swing. Mike Trout comes to the plate, grounded to third to end the first inning. Drives one left center field. Nobody's getting to this ball. Off the wall in left center. 2-run score. Here comes a third of the plate. The throw by Correa offline. It's a 3-run double for Trout. And the Angels strike for 4 here in the third inning. Lead it 4-0 against Mike Fiers and the Houston Astros. And that was not far from being a slam for Mike Trout.
Yeah, the trajectory off the bat was just too low, because he absolutely smashes this one. Got himself a center cut fastball, squared it up, and you can see it just not high enough to get over that wall. But again, good job by the base runners recognizing that Astro outfielders had no chance of getting to that ball. We're off to the races, and Calhoun scores.
So Trout with that speed aboard at second base. Cleanup man Albert Pujols at the plate. And that fastball buzzes up and in. RBIs 27, 28, and 29 for Trout lifetime against the Astros. And on the season, Trout now at 35 to lead the Angels. Little half swing again coming up and in is Fiers. Those numbers have really tailed off for Pujols since the All-Star break last year. Again, the heat up and in. And a 1-2 count on Albert. From the Dominican Republic. And he's been one of the game's great ones, 36 years of age now. And the Astros with a tough assignment tonight. The offense has been scoring just over 4 runs a game on the year. This one's hit in the air, left center field and deep. Back at the wall. It gets out of here. Albert Pujols has hit a very big home run on his career. That is number 570 as he moves into 11th place all time on that home run list. Rafael Palmeiro, the guy he passes. And again, 570 Major League bombs.
That is now 51 career home runs against the Astros alone.
And a 6-0 Halos lead here in the third. Ground ball left side off the bat of Crone. Moran with the play. And there's your second out of the inning. Another peek at that home run by Sir Albert.
Yeah, it's interesting. Watch the location. You see where they're trying to get him is up and in, but Castro set away on that pitch And we've seen Fiers miss up in the zone, and it's kind of that arm side where the arm is just not getting there. And Albert, after seeing several pitches in that area, was able to get to it, get the barrel to it. You can see the excitement on him knowing that he is increasing that home run milestone.
So the Angels get the 3-run double by Trout, and then Albert Pujols launches number 570, and 6 runs on the board here in the 3rd inning. And the way Shoemaker has been looking through the first 3, again, it's going to be a really tough assignment now for the Bats. 9th hitter of the inning, Johnny Giovitella. 0 for 1 with the bat. Had a great play defensively to rob Colin Moran. Line shot. That's extra bases down the left field side. Giovitella will cruise into second base. A 2-out double. As the hit parade continues, they will send at least 10 to the plate here in the inning as Rafael Ortega comes to the plate.
Big turnaround for Giovitella between April and May, getting that bat going a little bit. Right now, any mistake that Mike Fiers is making in the strike zone is getting perfectly placed for extra base hits here.
Giovitella now with hits in 14 of his last 15 games. Chris Davinsky will get loose in the Astros pen. It was Ortega who got the whole thing started with a double down the right field side. Jeff Blum mentioned that it was right off the end of the bat, but right down the right field line. George Springer was playing well off the line. Hit on the ground up the middle. Correa with the play. He'll get the out, and that'll do it. The Angels send 10 to the plate. 6 of them score and lead it 6-0. Astros baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Gentle breezes out here in Southern California, but it has not been gentle for Mike Fiers. 6-0 Angels. We played just 3. Top of the order for the Astros here in the 4th inning. Just 1 base hit, that picked up by Carlos Correa with 2 outs in the 1st inning. He was then picked off, and that has been it for the offense of the Astros as Springer takes up an in. Shoemaker has struck out 5 first time through the order. Struck out the side in the second inning, getting Rasmus, Gaddis, and Valbuena. Springer with that big swing again. 2 home runs yesterday for George, 11 on the season.
Swinging a good bat, having some quality at bats too, seeing some pitches. Those 2 home runs he hit yesterday were monster shots too.
Both up on the tracks.
One of them hit the advertising up there, the Minute Maid sign. Couldn't get to the tracks because it was right in front of it. But that second one hit a window panel off the retractable roof.
Down on strikes to start the 4th. 6 strikeouts now for Shoemaker. It'll bring up Jose Altuve. Altuve grounded out to short back in the first inning. Whenever Altuve is not racking up at least a couple of hits a night, it's news. With a hit yesterday, snapped an 0 for 18. Now lines one to left field. So he's 1 for 2 on the night. Maybe trying to get that bat red hot. The Astros need that very much from Altuve.
I'll tell you what, that was a little more of a traditional swing for me from Jose Altuve. During this little slump that he's been in over the last 4 or 5 games, you just haven't seen those quick hands that we're accustomed to seeing from Jose Altuve. And right here, the foot gets down, he recognizes and then just throws the barrel at it.
I completely agree. For me, it felt tentative a little bit after being really red hot with the stick.
Well, for me, that's when the foot doesn't get down on time, is when guys look tentative. If they have that foot down on time, usually the hands are back and ready to go.
Carlos Correa 1 for 1 at the plate, takes a strike. Carlos back on Tuesday had that big 13th inning hit to win the ball game over the Baltimore Orioles, and in the process snapped an 0 for 15 of his own. So it's been a quiet time with the bats. Of course, that 0 for 15 came right on the heels of the sweep the Texas Rangers laid on Houston.
We've battled through a tough stretch, and in May they're coming into this game with 13-11, and now they're starting to play some teams that are below 500. So you would think that this might be an opportunity for them to try and make that push we keep talking about, where they can start winning some series and creep back into this thing.
Of course, the Astros got off to that very tough month of April, 7-17. They were outscored by the opposition by 33 runs in that month. Pitches popped up on a very good swing by Carlos. Near the bag at second. Petit will make the play. Out number 2 here in the inning. May 9th of last year.
Against Shoemaker, Jose Altuve taking a high heater out to left field. Colby Rasmus also getting a hold of a Matt Shoemaker pitch, going to the other gap, right center field, deep.
Boy, that was back there. Well, Colby will stand in. Altuve at first base, league leader in stolen bases. I don't know that you consider running in this scenario. Of course, you'll take a run anywhere you can get it. Quite a cool down in recent times for Colby Rasmus. Wound up being ejected in the Tuesday game against Baltimore. Very unusual for his personality.
Yeah, but he had every reason to bark at Dana DeMuth. A couple of pitches off that outside corner.
Second ejection for Colby in his brief career with the Astros. As a 1-2 count. Rasmus leads the Astros in RBIs. tied for 12th in the American League in ribbies. Lines one into right field. That's a base hit. Altuve will streak toward third base. Strong arm by Calhoun, and he keeps it down beautifully, and that keeps Colby Rasmus at first base. A very strong arm shown off there by Cole Calhoun. But the Astros with a couple of hits in the inning. Altuve and Rasmus have runners at the corners with 2 outs for Evan Gattis.
Good swing by Colby. Got himself a split finger middle and down. How nice would it be if the Astros could answer right here?
Well, they could use some big swings right about now.
Let's take a look at our Lexus defensive rankings. Pretty good outfield for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Rafael Ortega out there, red light on him. Mike Trout, athletic and aggressive to that baseball, and you just got a good shot of what Cole Calhoun has in that left arm. Strong arm, accurate.
Ball and a strike on Gattis. The Astros are 4th now in the American League in home runs. The American League is led by a team that might surprise you in long balls, Tampa Bay. They're at the top, followed by Baltimore, Seattle, and Houston. These Angels are tied for dead last in the league with home runs. So they get the big home run tonight by Albert Pujols, but that has not been the norm for the Angels. Two and one, good hitters count. Gattis has reached base safely in 17 of his last 20. Fights off the heater at 94. 2-2 is the count. Intriguingly, maybe, Evan Gattis has homered in the 2 games he started as a catcher this year. And both of those starts with Colin McHugh on the hill. Luis Valbuena waiting on deck. The 2-2. Shoemaker
back to that split finger.
Comes right back with the splitter. It seems to be the big strikeout pitch, though we've seen the fastball up to 94. And now a 3-2 count. A reminder from C.J. Cron that he's going to be behind the runner Colby Rasmus at first base. Rasmus will be on the move. Just the 4th inning, but a big spot for the Astros. There goes Colby. 3-2, got him swinging. Comes with the splitter, gets the strikeout number 7 on the night for Shoemaker. Still 6-0 Angels.
Houston Astros, LLC, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Houston Astros, LLC.
Back for the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch from Mike Fiers is popped shallow on the right side. Altuve with that shift on a long run to get there. Out number one. That was the catcher, Carlos Perez. It'll bring up the 9-hitter, Gregorio Petit. Petit drew a walk in that 6-run third inning. The Angels had 6 hits and a walk in the frame. They had the big 3-run double from Mike Trout, the 2-run homer from Albert Pujols. Petit puts it in the air, right center field. Long run, Marisnik. He won't get there. One hop up against the wall. Petit into second base. With a slide, he has a one-out double.
Treat employees, host clients, or bring your church or youth sports team to Minute Maid Park for an experience to remember with Astros group tickets. Visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS to reserve your group today.
Gregorio Petit at second base, one out. And the top of the order, Yunel Escobar. He's flied out twice. The second of those flyouts looked big at the moment in the third inning. There were no runs in yet. The Angels were threatening, but it looked like a big first out where the Astros with Mike Fiers could maybe get the double play grounder and get out of the inning. Escobar drills it into left field. It's a base hit, and that will score Petit, making it 7-0. RBI single Escobar, ribby number 13 on the year. And the Angels tearing it up against Mike Fiers. That's hit number 8.
Mike Fiers is having some control issues and wild in the zone, and anytime he leaves the ball elevated, it is getting barreled up nicely by Angels hitters tonight.
Chris Davinsky will get back up in that Astros bullpen in left field. One out double by Petit. He's plated by Escobar's base hit. And now Cole Calhoun at the plate. Calhoun got the scoring started in that third inning. Sliced one down the left field line that dropped in front of Colby Rasmus. That drove in that first run. Calhoun then came around and scored the fourth Angels run. That on the double by Mike Trout. A rocket off the wall in left center field. This ball is hooked hard and foul.
It's almost looking as if these Angel hitters know what is coming at them, because they do not look uncomfortable at all in the box. And if any of those pitches are anywhere in the strike zone or within reach of these guys, they are taking some hacks.
Look at that most recent outing by Mike Fiers against the Texas Rangers. 7 innings. He allowed 6 hits and a couple of runs. Struck out 6. Pitching very well. And he's kind of been back and forth at times in recent games. But the Astros have managed to win 3 of his last 5 starts. 1-2 the count. There's Davinsky.
Good location on that last fastball.
Fiers had pitched well against the Indians a couple of starts back, also 7 innings. Struggled against Minnesota. And now pitch gets on by, moving into second base is Yunel Escobar. It is a wild pitch.
Yeah, Yeah, there's not much Castro could do on that, bouncing well out in front of home plate.
So that erases the possibilities of the double play grounder. Calhoun with that third inning base hit has hit in 6 straight. And now 3-2, first base open. Mike Trout waiting on deck. And Chris Stavinsky continues to loosen in the Astros pen. The Angels have not been a big offensive club. And again, we've talked about all the injuries. That has certainly factored in. But they are unleashing the beast here this evening. 7-0 Angels. There's the splitter for the strikeout. And for Mike Fiers, the first punch out of the night. 2 down here in the inning. It brings up Mike Trout.
A big swing last at bat. As we look back at that pitch from Fiers.
That big swing that Jeff Blum is talking about, the double that drove in 3 in the 3rd inning.
It was on the first pitch, and his first 2 at bats for Mike Trout. First AB fouled off the first pitch. Second AB, where he got that 3 RBI double, was on a first pitch from Mike Fiers, and he squared up nicely. And on this season, Mike Trout is now 8 for 13 on first pitches with 10 RBIs.
Takes the breaking ball. Nice job by Castro. With that 7-0 score, I wonder how much that comes into play right now in terms of, with first base open, not considering to walk Trout. One of the game's great players. You can say great young players, but Mike Trout, without a doubt, one of the game's really terrific youngsters. Taking all the way, watches it low. 2-0 the count.
I'm not sure he's going to get a fastball to hit in this situation.
Well, if he knows that, and I imagine he's figured it out, probably can look for Trout to just sit on something. Three and 0 the count. And this could be coming from the bench. There was a pitch to handle at 85 miles an hour. 3-1 the count.
I think that was a smart idea by Mike Trout to take that 3-0 pitch, understanding that first base is open, like you talked about, Ash, that they may not be just pumping a fastball in there in a 3-0 count. But it's another pitch for him to see. Now he might make the adjustment and sit on that pitch, but
takes another strike.
instead he got the fastball.
Just taken all the way.
So a little backwards in this situation. Able to work back in the count.
Well, the numbers have been phenomenal. We talked about it already for Trout. Over the last 39 games, he adds a 40th game to that span. But came in the previous 39 games hitting .342. And a whole lot in terms of extra bases. Lays off, draws the walk, and that'll bring up Pujols. But watching Trout, he just looks so comfortable. That brings out the skip. A.J. Hinch comes to the mound. He will take the baseball as Chris Stavinsky will be summoned from the pen. With the Astros down 7-0, a couple of runners aboard here in the 4th inning. He comes in now to work it here in the 4th inning. The Angels threatening as they try to add to a 7-0 lead.
Got to look at some of Devo's numbers. He did not pitch in that Baltimore series, so it's kind of nice to have a relatively fresh arm out there in the bullpen, because there's going to be a lot asked of him after Fiers was only able to go 3 2/3 innings. But all the other guys out there in that bullpen were used by A.J. Hinch in that series against Baltimore. So young man has some starting experience this season. The arm has been stretched out. Looking to hopefully keep these Angels right where they're at right here. Allow enough time for this Astros offense to jump back in this ball game.
Albert Pujols, all-time against the Astros, 51 dingers. Hit that 51st, a 2-run shot in the 3rd inning. Pretty great names there on the list. Hank Aaron, Willie McCovey, Willie Stargell. I've been behind the plate, called some long ones for Willie Stargell. Pujols takes a strike. Again, number 570 on the career of Albert Pujols. As he goes on by Rafael Palmeiro. Now in front of Pujols, Harmon Killebrew is 11th on the list. 3 home runs in front. Then you start talking top 10 all time. And Albert Pujols is going to get there. Number 10 on the list. And moving upward, Mark McGwire, Frank Robinson, Sammy Sosa, Jim Thome, Ken Griffey Jr., Willie Mays, Alex Rodriguez, Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, and Barry Bonds. So that's where he sits now historically.
I think Alex Rodriguez hit one tonight too, just back off the DL.
A-Rod being the only member of the active players in that top 10. Mark McGwire at 583, so he's 13 in front of Albert right now.
A-Rod did hit a home run in that Yankees win. 6th on the season.
A-Rod's numbers have been a little bit on the slow side coming this year. Hit high in the air, shallow in left field. Colby Rasmus coming in. He'll squeeze it, and that'll do it. For the Angels, a couple of hits, they strand him. We played 4. Halos on top, 7-0.
To the 5th. It's time to take a look at our Chevy Stroh poll. Make sure to head over to the Root Sports SW Twitter page. You can vote in the poll. And outside of Jose Altuve, who is the best hitter in Major League Baseball? Your choices: Miguel Cabrera, Bryce Harper, Paul Goldschmidt, and Mike Trout. Some heavy hitters in that one. I want to hear what you got, gentlemen.
Thank you, Julia. Well, you present some tough questions, don't you?
It should be interesting to find out the answers to that one.
Mike Trout just might be on that list. For the Astros here in the 5th inning, it's Luis Valbuena to lead it off. A lot of work to be done. 7-0 Angels. And a tough night, no doubt, for Mike Fiers. Valbuena 0 for 1, struck out in the second inning. Mike Fiers 3 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, all earned. A couple of walks and a strikeout, 1 home run allowed, and that the big one to Albert Pujols. Matt Shoemaker has been up to the task this evening. 7 strikeouts already as he falls behind 3-1. It's Valbuena, Moran, and Castro for the Astros in the 5th. Popped up, foul territory, left side. And making the play at third base, Yunel Escobar. First out of the inning. Well, Perez went a long ways on that ball.
I think with Valbuena up there, a little bit of a shift going on, so Escobar playing off the line. A good recognition by the catcher, Carlos Perez, knowing that Escobar had a ways to go. Went over there helping out his third baseman. But again, I think Valbuena just missed that pitch.
Had the good swing.
He's had a good one going.
Don't you hate that when you go back to the bench and you know you had the pitch to hit, you had the swing, and just missed it? Colin Moran again on that quest for the first major league hit. Came so close in his first at bat on the night. Hit a little looper right off the end of the bat in the third inning as he led off. Looked like it would dunk in shallow right field, but for the effort of Johnny Giovatello, who made a heck of a play. So you just keep on going, battling, trying to get that first hit. They've got the shift on for Moran. Guy who is known for utilizing left field a great deal, but that's on balls in the air. The outfield shaded just a bit toward left field.
I can only imagine the emotion going through Colin Moran as he hit that ball. He knew he didn't hit that ball that well, but saw Giovatello out there chasing it down. The hopes of getting that first hit just squashed by that second baseman making a great play on it.
Of course, you know you're going down the line begging. That's kind of the nature of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Line drive, there it is. First major league hit for Colin Moran as he lines one into left center field. And maybe that monkey has been dropped off along the way.
Good for him. Welcome to the club, Colin. He's got to feel pretty good about that swing right there. With that shift on, he gets a pitch out over the plate, stays on it, barrels it up, just goes with it, not trying to do too much. You can see some of the elation even in a ball game like this, recognizing how special it is to get that first big league hit.
1 for 14 in the major leagues now. Colin Moran will take his lead with 1 out. Brings up Jason Castro, also a strikeout victim in the third inning. Jason takes the heater for a strike. Tomorrow night, Dallas Keuchel goes up against Jared Weaver. Keuchel just 2-6, trying to turn his season around. .592 the ERA. That's a 9:05 start. Join us at 8:30 for the pregame show. 0-2 the count on Castro.
If you're Dallas Keuchel, you've got to be questioning, when is it going to turn around? We know he's a better pitcher than what we've seen. It just hasn't clicked for him.
Watched him throwing in the outfield, flat ground today, and he was working. He was trying to hit spots, and I mean, you can tell the focus is 100% there. Half swing by Castro. They appeal and get the appeal. Castro down on strikes. Second time tonight for Jason. That's 8 for Shoemaker. 2 down in the inning. It brings up the 9-hitter Jake Marisnick.
That is 8 strikeouts on the night for the Houston Astros also.
Marisnick was a strikeout victim in the 3rd inning. And for Jake, it hasn't been all roses this year either. Hits have been hard to come by. Hitting just .125. 6 for 49 now for Jake. Does have 3 doubles. Hits one sharply, but handled at 3rd. Escobar will get the force at 2nd, and that'll do it in the 5th inning. Nice play by Escobar at 3rd. It's still 7-0 Angels. Angels lead over the Astros. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. C.J. Cron will lead it off against right-hander Chris Davinsky, pitcher number 2 on the night for Houston, as Mike Fiers had a rough start.
Yeah, didn't have the command. He's facing an Anaheim team who's swinging the bat well here in May. They're hitting .286 coming into this game. Was that offense, and it just seemed when pitches were in the zone, they did not miss them at all.
Cron pops one down the right side. That's handled by Valbuena. First out of the inning. It'll bring up the second baseman, Johnny Giavotella. Giavotella 1 for 2 on the night, hitting .286. Fastball gets away from Davinsky. 1 ball, no strikes. Angels came up with a 6-run 3rd inning, highlighted by a bases loaded double from Mike Trout, plating 3, a 2-run home run by Albert Pujols, the 570th of his career, moving him to 11th all time. As you look at Mike Trout, what a fixture he is for this Angels team. And there's been some talk this year as the Angels have floundered about whether the Angels have to find a way to unload Mike Trout. Isn't that amazing?
Oh my gosh, you could probably get a couple minor league teams for that guy.
Minor league?
There may be a big league team out there you could trade for Mike Trout too.
There's a 1-out walk to Giavotella. It brings up Rafael Ortega.
Follow Astros baseball live and stay up to the moment with Game Day. Live highlights, StatCast, and more with the MLB.com @bat app. Download the app for your phone or tablet now.
Ortega is 1 for 2. Had a double in that 6-run third. It was the swing that started the inning. Doing some nice things, playing a solid left field. He's picked up 5 outfield assists already. It's the ground ball foul. 0-2 the count. The Angels didn't do a lot in the offseason to possibly solve left field. And so when some injuries struck for the club, Ortega has gotten the shot and starting to play pretty well. Strike 3 called, outside edge. That's 2 down in the inning, just the second strikeout for Houston pitching. It'll bring up the catcher, Carlos Perez.
It's pitched by Davinsky. After giving up that walk, so Giovitella comes back and punches out Ortega.
Carlos Perez, 1 for 2 on the night. Singled and scored. Davinsky falls behind. Ball and a strike on the Angels catcher. He has not gotten off to a big start on his season, hitting .216. And now a 1-2 count. Where does Davinsky fit in best now with this ball club? That's one of the questions. Is he a guy that serves well in the bullpen, or does he wind up back in the starting rotation? Line drive into left field. Rasmus on. He'll make the diving grab. Nice play by Colby Rasmus as he robs Carlos Perez. That'll do it for the Angels. They leave a man on the walk. We've played 5. The Angels lead it 7-0. Baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, donating $100 for each Astros home run and $200 for each Correa dinger to Houston Children's Charity. And by Whataburger. Get your day started at Whataburger with the jalapeno cheddar biscuit. Angels have gotten the series started. They lead it 7-0. We go to the 6th inning. Matt Shoemaker has been tough, striking out 8 through 5 innings, and now faces the top of the order. Springer, Altuve, and Correa here in the 6th. Ground ball left side, another nice play by Escobar. He'll spin, throw in the dirt, but dug out by Crone as the Angels get out number 1.
Escobar's moving pretty good down there at third base. Played a lot of shortstop in his career and came over here to Anaheim or Los Angeles.
Where exactly?
Yeah, somewhere in that vicinity. But moved over to third base when they signed Andrelton Simmons. And now out with an injury, still hanging out there at third base, letting Gregorio Petit play some shortstop, but moving pretty well to his left to make some good plays.
With 1 out, Altuve stands in, 1 for 2 on the night. And Springer now 0 for 3. The Astros have just 4 hits. They have all been singles. One of those, the first major league hit by Colin Moran. One a base hit by Correa back in the 1st inning, and the next opportunity he was picked off to end that 1st. Altuve stings it. It's 2-1. Finals in around the major leagues. The Texas Rangers defeated by visiting Pittsburgh today. 9-1 the final. Cole Hamels finally takes a loss for the Rangers. Now 5-1 on the year. Snapping that lengthy winning streak. Jonathan Neese picked up the win. 5-2 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2-2 the count on Altuve. Andrew McCutchen hit his 9th of the year. Line drive at short and handled by Petit. And he looked like an infielder, completely fooled on the line drive.
That was a bullet.
Jackie Bradley Jr., you know about the 29-game hitting streak, snapped yesterday, finally. But during that streak, how about those numbers, Blummer?
Yeah, we saw it in Boston. We also saw it start in Houston, that hitting streak. But when he was in Boston, it wasn't one of those situations where it was a little drop shot and left or a broken bat single, seeing eye through the infield. These were well struck baseballs all over the field. He was seeing the ball well, having good ABs, a couple off speed pitches, getting raked. He was hitting the heater well.
Correa puts it on the ground. Gio Vitello with the play, a 1-2-3 6th inning as the Astros go down quietly through 5.5. It's all Angels.
At 7-0 Angels over the Astros. Chris Davinsky back on the mound, getting some work here at the ballpark where he grew up, just down the road. I'm told about 12 miles from here in Santa Ana is where he grew up, right, Dad? I'm with Dad and Mom, Mike Shirley and his twin sister Amanda. She's chatting up some friends over there. But Mike, I'm going to start with you. 46 tickets, I think he left. So who are all these people that you're sitting with up here?
Coaches, high school, college kids, friends, bosses that I work for, everybody around that knows Chris.
For him to be able to pitch too and get on the mound right here at this ballpark, what is that like for you guys? I know you passed by this ballpark how many times?
Oh, millions, but it's just a dream come true for Chris, and we're very honored from the Houston Astros and the Angels to let him be on this mound.
Mom, this is Shirley next to me. Mom, I got to ask you about, I know you got a chance to go to Houston to watch him pitch. What has it been like watching him make his way into the big leagues?
Oh, it's been so exciting. He's worked so hard, and it's been his dream since he's a little boy. I'm just so happy for him.
I understand that he had a job at this ballpark one time. He worked security here, so I mean,
his dad did. His dad worked here.
He worked here. So what is it like for you? I mean, to see him out on that mound right now at this ballpark?
It's just amazing. It's really hard to believe the transition. I still think he's in the minors, but I have to accept the fact that he's in the majors now. It's what a transition, and I know it is for him too. But I'm just so excited and happy for him because he worked really hard and he really does deserve it. And I'm grateful to all his friends, his coaches, the fans, and the Houston Astros. And I know he appreciates everything that everybody's done for him.
We want to wish you guys congratulations on that big league debut. I know it's been a while, but it's good to catch up with you guys and enjoy the time that you get to visit with him.
Thank you, Julia.
Thanks, Mike. Guys, back up to you.
Thanks a lot, Julia. It's always fun to be with Mom and Dad and the family, and Chris Davinsky now still working a little security here at the ballpark. Just told Gregorio Petit to go sit down on the bench. Second strikeout of the night for Davinsky. One out, Escobar at the plate. Hits it on the ground as Correa makes the play. Second out of the inning. And that'll move it on to Cole Calhoun. Yeah, for Davinsky, Gar High School here in Cerritos. On to Cal State University Fullerton. Drafted originally by the White Sox. And he was a 25th rounder, so wasn't necessarily rosy at that point, but he's made his point as a pitcher and now pitching in the big leagues. Cole Calhoun is 1 for 3 tonight. Drove in that first Angels run. Just got a peek at the changeup of Davinsky, a very good one.
That's his go-to pitch. Not afraid to throw it in any count.
I think he's got a changeup that major league hitters would tell you right now is one of the really good ones in the big leagues.
He would like to add a little bit of a wrinkle, whether it be a curveball or slider, into that repertoire that he has. Just that third pitch, keep those hitters guessing.
Pitched 5 years in the minor leagues, went 33 and 24. So he's figured out how to win.
There you go. Doesn't have to be a great pitch. It's got to be something you're able to throw for a strike and keep those hitters off balance. And you got a swinging strike on that foul ball from Calhoun on the curveball.
1-2 the count. Would love to get Calhoun with Mike Trout waiting on deck. Davinsky trying to make the family and the friends all proud and happy, despite the fact that the Astros are trailing here in the 6th inning. First of 3 in Anaheim and the first of 5 on this trip. It will conclude with 2 in Arizona against the Diamondbacks.
Steady diet of off-speed pitches to Cole Calhoun.
Struck out in his previous at bat as Fiers got him on the splitter. And there's the change and the strikeout. 2 in the inning for Davinsky, and the family and friends are very pleased. We played 6, 7-0 Angels. We go. Taking a look now at our MD Anderson strike zone. Gene Autry. He's the one that brought the Angels to this part of the country, and
Yeah,
50 years ago.
Yeah, they broke ground here in 1964. Stadium opened up in 1966. And you and I both grew up down here in Southern California, so we've seen this stadium evolve over the years. Jim Fergosi.
Yeah. Jim Fergosi was really one of the very good early players for the Angels, a shortstop.
Looked like a Gaddis hack on that
It did, didn't it?
fastball.
Colby Rasmus will take a hack right here. 7th inning. There's Gene Autry. Did he actually wear the number 26? I know Rod Carew and Nolan Ryan and on and on. We've had some good players come through here. 0-2 the count on Colby. He is struck out and singled. 1 for 2. It'll be followed by Evan Gattis and Luis Valbuena here in the 7th.
I was telling our producer before the game here at Anaheim Stadium, I've actually seen a Los Angeles Rams, the original Los Angeles Rams game here, and grew up watching a lot of Angel games here. I remember this place when it was fully enclosed.
How long did the Rams play in this ballpark?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you.
Strike 3 called. Caught looking is Colby Rasmus as Shoemaker finds the inside edge. First out of the inning. Colby did not like the call, but it'll bring up Evan Gattis. For Evan, 0 for 2 on the night, a couple of strikeouts. And a hot shot off the glove of Petit into left field. Evan Gattis is 1 for 3, a 1-out single. Will bring up Luis Valbuena.
First baseman, number 18, Luis Valbuena.
A chance to do a little bit of digging. To get a chance to look at Evan Gattis. Himself a hanging split, it looks like. Barrels it up. Just past the diving Gregorio Petit. A good look at it on that Supermo. Pretty good effort by Petit. So Gene Autry did some amazing things bringing baseball here to Southern California. Do you realize he has 5 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
5
stars. Music, radio, film, live stage, and TV. That's getting it done.
And that's not even getting one for his horse, right?
No.
Bob went out in front on the splitter. Has a ball and a strike. Colin Moran waits on deck. Nolan Ryan had all those great years as a member of the Angels. Check out some of the stats through the years of Nolan Ryan, and they're mind-boggling when you consider today's world in Major League Baseball. The number of strikeouts and innings pitched over the course of seasons. Played with some teams out here, did Nolan, that really didn't score a lot of runs for him. Gene Autry wrote, sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Jeff Blum has his family with him. They could probably give you a rendition of that song as the pop fly goes left side. Perez with the play. Second out of the inning as Valbuena is erased. 0 for 3 on the night now for Valbuena, and it will bring up Colin Moran.
Our delivery of the game is delivered to you by Jimmy Johns. It's that first big league hit from Colin Moran. That is a memory that will last his entire lifetime, make for good stories for the kids, grandkids. Right here at the Big A in Anaheim.
Yeah, those stories will include, I got my first major league hit in my 14th major league at bat. And then I turned into, and that story is yet to be played out. Shift on once again in the infield as they move the third baseman Escobar into that line of flight for the line drive that turned into the first hit. Evan Gattis not being held on. Right on the hands, it's fouled back.
It's good to see a little bit more aggressive hack from Colin Moran. Hopefully you get that first base hit out of the way. Not necessarily get comfortable, but try and get back to who he was that got him here to the big leagues.
That's exactly right, and that was a much better swing. Milwaukee a 9-5 winner over the Reds. Kansas City drops the White Sox 7-5. White Sox have hit on some rougher times here recently. Strike on the inside edge as Shoemaker has been finding that corner. St. Louis drops Washington 6-2 in the nation's capital. Somebody finally finds a way to beat the Boston Red Sox. Toronto Blue Jays 7-5 winners over Boston. Baltimore breaks out of the slump that the Astros had them in with that 3-game sweep. Orioles in Cleveland win it 6-4. The Mets down the Dodgers 6-5. Yankees 4-1 win. 4-1 winners over Tampa Bay. Moran doing a nice job staying alive on that splitter.
Yeah, he's fighting off a tough pitch. That's been a great pitch for Shoemaker all night. Not afraid to throw that. Even in counts, ahead in counts. He's also got that sneaky 94 coming in at you too. If he sets you up by slowing your eyes down and swing down on that off-speed stuff.
The 1-2 is taken inside. The Atlanta Braves win just their 13th on the season as they beat Miami 4-2. And the Cubs just keep on rolling. They're now, what is that record for the Cubbies? 32-14 as they top Philadelphia 6-2. Hit in the air center field. And pretty deep as Trout goes back. He's on the track and makes the catch. So Colin Moran, following his first major league hit, drives it, but comes up empty. That'll do it for the Astros in the 7th inning. They leave a man and fail to score. 7-0 Angels. We will hang around for God Bless America here in the 7th inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your caps. On this patriotic weekend, prior to singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, please join Lorelei Cinco in singing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Here in Anaheim, 7-0 Angels leading the Astros. It is time to tell you who won the Chevy Stro poll this evening. We asked you, outside of Jose Altuve, who is the best hitter in the big leagues. You voted Miggy. Mike Trout there at the bottom. Nope. Paul Goldschmidt had less votes. Oh, here's some video of Miggy, Altuve's good friend. He's been on a tear lately.
Yeah, that dude can rake. He's the reason that Mike Trout has come in second place a couple times in those MVP votes, because Miguel Cabrera continues to dominate that American League.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's been all Angels leading it 7-0. A 6-run 3rd inning has been the key, and Mike Trout was right in the heart of that thing. 3-run double in the frame. Made it 4-0 at the time. His buddy Albert Pujols then crushed a home run. A 2-run job to make it 6-0. Number 570 on the career for Albert Pujols. For Mike Trout, he's 1 for 2. He's also walked. Number of changes defensively for the Astros here in the 7th inning. Tony Kemp has come on to play left field. Colby Rasmus moves from left to right as George Springer now takes a seat. Carlos Correa is done. Marwin Gonzalez is the shortstop. Luis Valbuena moves to second base in place of Altuve, and Tyler White is now the first baseman. Two and two on Mike Trout. Tomorrow night, 9:05 start, Dallas Keuchel and Jared Weaver. And then the Sunday game to close out the series starts at 2:35. Doug Fister goes against Nick Tropiano, former Astro. The Astros then move on to Arizona against the Diamondbacks. A couple of day games with Monday's affair starting at 3:10. That'll be Colin McHugh, yet to be announced for Arizona. In that Tuesday game, a 2:40 start. Lance McCullers back to the hill. Three and two now on Trout. Albert Pujols and C.J. Cron to follow here in the inning. Angels with 8 hits, the Astros just 5. And Trout lays off so easily off the changeup. Draws his second walk of the night. Watch so many hitters, Blummer, that as we see a pinch runner come out now for Mike Trout, he is done with his night's work as Shane Robinson, an outfielder, will pinch run. But about to mention how Trout just laid off with no flinch whatsoever in watching that change come in.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good idea at the plate. So much of his swing is based on timing, and when things are going good, he can pick up and recognize pitch almost immediately out of the hand.
So Shane Robinson, the runner at first. Shift on in the infield for Albert Pujols. Pujols, no doubt, coming at least toward the end of his illustrious career. And yet the Angels have, following this year, 5 more years of that 10-year deal that was signed to pay on the Pujols contract. Driven to right center field. Long run, and getting there to make the play is Rasmus. Out number 1, back to first base goes Shane Robinson.
First baseman, number 24, C.J. Cron.
Going to bring up first baseman C.J. Cron. Cron on the night 0 for 3.
He's the only Angel without a hit.
The Astros have 5 singles. Altuve, Correa, Rasmus, Gaddis, and Colin Moran with those hits. The Astros have struck out 9 times against Matt Shoemaker. Boy, that fastball just right on by Cron. There's the changeup. Shane Robinson not being held on at first base. Tyler White has been playing behind and even to the side of Robinson. Tapper to third. Moran will set his feet and make the play to first. Second out of the inning, into second base is Robinson as it brings up Johnny Giovatella. Giovitella has popped out, doubled, and drawn a walk. 1 for 2 tonight. Jeff Blum mentioned it earlier. Alex Rodriguez had a home run tonight, as Masahiro Tanaka was strong for the Yankees from the mound. Tanaka now 3-0 on his year. A-Rod with 6 dingers. Carlos Beltran just goes on and on. Hit his 11th for the Yankees. Chopper goes foul. Ball and 2 strikes on Giovitella. Chris Archer, by the way, the outstanding young talent for Tampa Bay, falls to 3-6 as he takes the loss.
Another very good young pitcher who hasn't found it this season. It's who Alex Rodriguez hit that home run off of today in Tampa Bay.
San Diego Padres lead at Arizona 10-0 in the 7th. Detroit with a 3-0 lead over Oakland. That's in the 8th. There's a base hit to right field by Giovitella. They will hold the runner at third base with that 7-0 lead as the strong throw comes in from Rasmus. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. Rafael Ortega will stand in. And now 9 hits for the Angels. The Angels trying to extend their lead over the Astros with a win tonight. It would be 2.5 games between the two clubs. It's game number 49 on the season for Houston. When the Astros get back home following the 2 in Arizona, it'll be June 1st. The Arizona Diamondbacks will come to town for just 2 games. And following that first with the Diamondbacks in Houston, it'll be 54 games played, 1/3 of the way through the season. Changeup has Ortega just waving.
That's a couple of not so good swings from Ortega on those changeups.
And that's kind of the comparison I was making with Mike Trout. He just took it like no flinch, no impact whatsoever. Another changeup hit in the air to right field. Rasmus to his right. He'll make the catch. That'll do it for the Angels. They get a hit and a walk and leave a pair. Still 7-0 Angels.
Baseball, it's top of the 8th, 7-0 Angels. Orbit's birthday is Sunday, June 5th, and you can join him and all of his MLB mascot friends for a pregame photo session in the atrium of Minute Maid Park. 10,000 lucky fans will take home an Orbit lunch bag presented by Coca-Cola. For more info, visit astros.com/orbitbirthday or call 1-877-9-ASTRO. All right, it's time to name that Astro, brought to you by your local Honda dealer, and we have some clues for you. Make sure you tweet us your best guess. So we have tonight, 11th overall pick in 79, played for 6 teams and hit 360 career homers. Ash, do you know?
What are you trying to put the pressure on me, Julia?
Always, but you can handle it.
Can I?
I think so.
You know, we need to sit down and talk, Julia. If you bring me some fancy dish here from the ballpark, I'll bet I can come up with the answer. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Run those official stats by me again.
Blummer? Did you bring Blummer into this?
I don't know what just happened right there.
Castro hits one on a hop, backhanded by Crow, and he goes to the bag. And that'll do it for Jason Castro, leading off here in the 8th inning. He will be followed by Jake Marisnick, as we are always followed, or led rather, by Julia Morales. So,
Blummer? Was Blummer the 11th overall pick in 1979?
Is that what it was?
No. At 6 years old, I was, yes.
Wow, that's impressive.
Julia, you didn't think it was Blummer, did you?
No.
Okay. 6 major league teams, hit 360 career home runs. Jeez. 1979. So you get your hardest one of the year and you throw it right at me.
I think it makes perfect sense, Ash. You had all that time to prepare.
You had some days off.
Well, you're right. You're right. And
fresh.
as I recall, I was not sent any of that information during those days. Thank you for the effort nonetheless. By the way, Julia, what have you found that's really nice and tasty here at the yard?
What to eat at the Big A? Well, I've had the I've had the big helmet full of nachos before. Do you remember me eating those?
Yeah, there's nothing like a big helmet at the ballpark.
Right. Or the chronic tacos. You know, this ballpark's interesting because they have fast food restaurants in here. Like Panda Express is above my shoulder.
Marisnick down on strikes. That's 2 outs here in the inning. And 10 strikeouts of Astros hitters.
Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Houston Astros are hitting home runs for Houston. Astros leaders in career home runs at Angels Stadium. George Springer with a couple. We know Carlos Correa, those 2 that he has add up to a pretty good size distance. Valbuena.
Boy, you got me. A former Astro that hit 360 home runs and was drafted in 1979. Tony Kemp with his first plate appearance, swings and misses on the splitter.
So you're thinking 1980s, 90s. This is your era, Ash.
Yeah, it should be. And so, well, 1979 means that he probably played with the Astros during the 80s, maybe a little into the 90s.
I actually think this guy played long enough for me to play against him too, by the way.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, with 360 home runs, he'd have to play a long while.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm thinking this through. Maybe he didn't play with the Astros, but instead coached or
affiliated somehow, some way with the Houston Astros.
Drafted in 79. Are we getting any of those really smart people on Twitter that are coming up with the answer?
I'm sure they are. They always give us some really good answers, but I haven't checked the Twitter account yet. Because I've already got the answer. I'm locked in.
Oh, you know who it is?
Yeah.
Well, that's not right.
I know.
Who's your source?
Twitter.
Twitter.
Some guy named Google.
That guy, huh?
Yeah, also known as Google.
Yeah, I got you. Got your brother on board, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing we can all be down here at the same time, huh?
I'd call this pretty good protection when we've got.
Oh, you have no idea.
The police force on with us. Yeah. You got your entire family up here.
Yep.
Crushing the helmets.
They know how to do it here in Anaheim. There we go.
It's nice.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. This man right here will protect us all if anything goes awry.
My little brother.
Yeah. Strike 3 called. Breaking ball up. Tony Kemp wrong up, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 8th inning. 7-0 Angels.
Seven to nothing over the Houston Astros, and Playing to Win is brought to you by Toyota Tundra. It will be Chris Davinsky coming into relief of Mike Fiers, who had himself a rough outing, came out after 3 2/3, and you get a chance to see Davinsky pitching in his hometown in front of family and friends, doing a relatively decent job in relief, facing a lineup that's been swinging the bat well. He's gone 3 1/3 innings. He's only given up 1 hit. No earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 punch-outs in the time he's been on the bump.
Gets a fly ball to center field. Perez, the catcher, puts it in the air. That'll be out number 1 here in the inning. Gregorio Petit, the shortstop, will stand in. Snapped an 0 for 7 with a double that came in the 4th inning. These nights are tough if you're Chris Davinsky. You come in, drive to left field. Tony Kemp is back and makes a tough catch in the end on a ball that maybe was a lot more routine than it turned out on that play, but Kemp hauls it in. 2nd out of the inning.
Kind of spun around out there. That ball was hit well off the bat of Gregorio Petit. But again, sometimes that toughest play is the one right over your head where you don't have a chance to really create an angle. But an out nonetheless.
That drive made me think of Petit as a member of the Astros a couple of years ago, and a home run at Yankee Stadium. Pretty big swing at the time. But I was talking about Davinsky as Caleb Cowart will warm up now for the Angels, or rather is now the pinch hitter batting, left-hand hitter. He stands in for Yunel Escobar. One ball and 1 strike. We're in the 8th inning, 7-0 Angels. But Davinsky having to eat up innings in a ball game where you're trailing 7-0. It's not a glamorous role, but it's one that's needed for teams.
He's doing a really good job at it too. He did not pitch in that Baltimore series coming out here in relief. Remember, he stretched out, moved into that rotation, and did a great job tonight.
The changeup gets the strikeout, a 1-2-3 8th inning. We go to the 9th. Astros with work to do. Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Lexus, the new 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. It's next level luxury. Gorgeous ballpark here in Anaheim. It's gone through a number of changes. It's all about baseball these days. The Astros are all about needing some runs here in the 9th inning. 2, 3, 4 coming up. It's the Altuve spot. Marwin Gonzalez has taken over this spot, his first plate appearance on the night. He'll be followed by Tyler White and Colby Rasmus as Marwin takes a strike. And going all the way now on the hill, Matt Shoemaker. That first pitch of the inning, number 105 on the night. Shift on in the infield for Marwin. Again tomorrow night, 9:05 start. Join us at 8:30 for the pregame. Dallas Keuchel goes up against right-hander Jared Weaver. Ground ball first base side, off the glove of the diving Crone, and it'll be an infield single for Marwin Gonzalez as he tries to get something started. Let's check in with Julia once again.
Ash, we have the answer.
I have the answer, Julia. I've got it for you.
Do you?
I do.
Well, go for
and
it.
I didn't even cheat. I'm going to go Gary Gaetti.
Okay, let's see if you're correct. Yay!
Thank you, Julia, for the yay.
Did the balloons fall in the booth and the confetti?
Showered him with confetti.
Well, they should, and they really haven't. So tomorrow night, I'm ready for it. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Julia.
Good work.
Julia Morales coming up with some tough ones. Tyler White will stand in. Leadoff single, Marwin Gonzalez. Matt Shoemaker pushing it deep into the night here in Anaheim. A 1-1 count on White. For Tyler White, he came on defensively. Inserted in that Carlos Correa spot in the order, the 3 spot. Carlos went 1 for 3 tonight. And now 1 and 2 on Tyler.
I think it's a pretty good move getting some of these guys in here, rotating your regulars out of there, give them a little bit of a rest. Long travel night last night, rough ball game today. Allow them to get out of that ball game, maybe check out a little bit mentally and regroup for tomorrow.
Matt Shoemaker, by the way, does not have a career complete game. He's got a bid on one, not to mention a shutout this evening as he gets out number 1. So they retired Tyler White. It brings up Colby Rasmus.
We are lucky enough to be joined in the booth. I talk about family, but I've got my oldest daughter Mia here on the headset. Make a little bit of an adjustment. She's here. You can say hello, Mia.
Hi, guys.
But we had a chance today. I haven't seen them in about 2.5 weeks, so it was great to see them. But of course, when they come to see Daddy, they come to the yard, and they had a little bit of a request today, and they wanted to get down on the field. And you can see Mia has the Houston Astros logo on, so I give her credit for that. But we had a chance to meet Mike Trout before the game. And how was that, Mia?
It was really fun. He's a really nice guy. My youngest sister, Kayla Blum, she is obsessed with him. And it's kind of funny because my dad works for the Houston Astros, and she's a total Angels fan, which is hilarious.
It is, and I appreciate you wearing that Houston Astro hat. Now, you have a T-shirt that you wear to bed every once in a while, and it's an American League All-Star jersey. Who is that player?
Altuve.
And what happened when we went down in the tunnel to come back up to get tickets for the game for you?
We saw Altuve, and I screamed.
It was classic. We were coming out. Some of the guys, Carlos Correa said hi to the girls, introduced themselves. And those are my daughters dabbing in the back. But as soon as Altuve came down the tunnel, came down the steps in the tunnel, all 4 of them all at once recognized him immediately. And it was, oh, my God, gosh, Jose. So
Yeah.
that's kind of some of the perks that you get to come hang out up here, not only with Ashby and myself, and get to play broadcaster for a little bit, but you get to introduce the kids to some of these athletes that they get to watch on TV and stuff like that.
Now, did your sister ask Mike Trout to hit her a home run tonight?
No, it was very short because we saw him at batting practice. It was very short. We took pictures though.
Oh, that's nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, some great memories to be had, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Colby rakes one into right field. Solid base hit for Colby Rasmus, his second of the night. That'll move Marwin Gonzalez into second base. And that's going to bring out the skip, Mike Scioscia. And the fans here in Anaheim laying the boos on the skip. But he's doing the prudent thing with the pitch count now for Matt Shoemaker, getting a little lofty. So he will not get his first career complete game nor shutout as he heads to that third base dugout. It's still 7-0 as the Angels turn to the bullpen. And we will be right back. Astros baseball and the Blum family. Trying to make a little noise here in the ninth inning. A couple of hits, Marwin Gonzalez and Colby Rasmus, and the Angels forced to go to the bullpen with right-hander Cam Bedrosian.
Yeah, Angel fans were not happy to see Mike Scioscia come out of there, but like you said, it's a smart thing to do. Cam Bedrosian now in the game, making his 17th appearance. Just a two-pitch pitcher out of that bullpen for the Angels. Has a fastball at 95 miles an hour and will snap off a curve every once in a while.
I love his name, Cameron Rock Bedrosian.
It's a good baseball name.
Because his dad was known as Bedrock. Evan Gattis at the plate, 1 for 3. Steve Bedrosian being the dad of Cam Bedrosian. Steve was a very fine major league reliever. The Astros now with 7 hits. 1 out here in the ninth. And a 2-0 count. Luis Valbuena waits on deck. See if Jeff Blum's family can stir a good old-fashioned rally.
That would be good to see.
3-0 the count. Bedrosian missing under the knees.
It's not what Mike Scioscia wanted to see coming out of the bullpen.
Now you would have to figure taking at least 1, maybe a couple of strikes here. It's 3-1. This is all about getting base runners. Marwin at second. Colby Rasmus at first. And the 3-1. And there's your walk to load them up. So the Astros have the bases loaded, 1 out for Luis Valbuena.
Second baseman, number 18, Luis Valbuena.
Matt Shoemaker looks a little concerned about what's going on.
He is responsible for Marwin out there at third base, as well as Colby Rasmus. So he's got 8 1/3 shutout. Doesn't want to see those runs come across and tacked onto that ERA.
Off speed, the breaking ball in for a strike as Bedrosian gets in front on Valbuena. Mike Fiers started, went 3 2/3, allowed 7 runs all earned, and left with an ERA of 5.20 on the year. Hit sharply but fouled down the left field side as the count moves to 0-2. Chris Davinsky, a solid night's work, going 4 1/3 innings and allowing just 1 base hit, a couple of walks against him. 4 strikeouts for Davinsky. Slider got him. And a big strikeout for the second out of the inning. Second time tonight that Valbuena goes down on strikes, and now Colin Moran will stand in. 1 for 3, first major league hit. And it was a solid base hit into left center.
I'd like to pick up his first big league RBI right here. Take away that goose egg in the run column for the Houston Astros.
The Astros recently accustomed to striking out the opposition a great deal. They have struck out 12 times themselves tonight. Curveball hit on the ground. That's a base hit into left field. There's your first RBI and your second as Colby Rasmus is plated. A 2-run single by Colin Moran on a little ground ball to the left side. And the Astros now at least have their first runs of the night, trailing 7-2. And Jason Castro comes to the plate.
Again, just finding the weakness in that shift that's being played against Colin Moran. Sneaks it through there. And with 2 outs, Colby Rasmus off on the swing of the bat, scores easily. Like you said, Astros on the board.
That's a big swing for Colin. First 2 major league RBIs. And he's burned that shift a couple of times tonight. Joe Smith, right-hander, loosening now for the Angels. And those 2 runs belong to Matt Shoemaker, who allowed a couple of hits in the inning. There's Joe Smith. Just now starts to get it loose. Oh, 0-2 the count on Castro. Gaddis is the runner at second. Moran at first base. Not a lot of speed out there right now. And the Angels fans coming to their feet. They're a strike away. Timeout called at the plate. Jason Castro is 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts. Carlos Correa started the night at shortstop. He eventually got a rest in the 7th inning. Carlos went 1 for 3 tonight. The 0-2 to Castro. And Perez with a nice job to keep everybody at bay on the bases. Matt Shoemaker had notions of a complete game and a possible shutout. It doesn't work out that way. And now Bedrosian steps off.
Kind of crazy to look at his line score in the last couple games. Last game out there, 12 strikeouts, no walks. Today, 11 strikeouts, no walks for Shoemaker. So that adjustment has been made in back-to-back starts for Shoemaker.
Baltimore the last time out, and now the Astros tonight. The 1-2. Castro down on strikes. Third time tonight for Castro, and that'll do it. The Astros get a pair of runs in the 9th inning. They've come up short as they lose to the Angels in the first of 3, 7-2 the final. Matt Shoemaker picking up the win. And the Angels improve to 22-26 as the Astros fall to 20-29. We'll be right back.